Arsenal go top of the league with a dominant 2-0 win over West Ham, with Liverpool losing and City winning. Are we finally going to get a title race this season, Mark? Tell me.
I don't know, Geezer. I mean, look, the great turning point for me was when you beat Newcastle. Yeah, that looked like a big... but at home against West Ham, to be honest with you, I was expecting a little bit more. I was expecting you to dismantle a team like West Ham. Now they've got a new manager in Nuno. Okay, they've been there 2 games. I mean, you can't really change that much. You're not really going to have a manager bounce against a team like Arsenal at the Emirates. But I was expecting a little bit more from Arsenal, to be honest. I mean, let's be honest. You scored 1 goal in open play. The second goal was a penalty. You know how I feel about penalties, right? No, look, I'm not gonna crap on you. I'm not gonna crap on you. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. The only thing that we really learned that we can really learn from the game against West Ham, okay, is that it was a routine win. You didn't really dismantle them properly. You dominated so much possession. Okay, West Ham they have a dead squad. Bro, the defense is so bad. At the Emirates, you should be winning and scoring 3 goals or 2 goals at least in open play. That's just my opinion of it. I mean, you tell me, what did you learn from that game? What did you learn from the Arsenal game against West Ham?
It went pretty much as I expected. As you know, in the preview, I predicted a 2-0 win against a stubborn West Ham team, governed by a new manager in Nuno, governed by a guy that's just gone to Everton and nicked a draw first game. That would never have happened against under Graham Potter. It's pretty much what I expected. Listen, here's the thing. We're in that period again where we're playing 3 games in a week, right? You got Newcastle away. Then you got a midweek Champions League game. Then you got a home game on the Saturday at 3:00. Absolutely fine. That's as dominant as a 2-0 win you're going to get. West Ham didn't have a chance. They had no chance.
They didn't.
And if Arsenal were a little bit more clinical, yeah, we could have had 3, maybe 4 goals. I'm not bothered about that. The fact is that we were creating those chances. The fact is that Gyökeres is occupying defenders. That means guys like Eze have chances to blaze over the bar at 5 yards out, which was, unlike Eze. But am I going to have a pop at him? No, it's absolutely fine. Saka puts the ball in the net, but he's offside. He could have stayed onside and still scored that. Listen, what I learned is we went first ahead of Liverpool, and we had a chance to put it on them. And we had a chance to cement that away win against Newcastle. And that's exactly what we did with a dominant 2-0 win. I think West Ham was stubborn. I think they were set up well under Nuno. But I think we looked good. I think we played some really good balls in behind. I think Trossard had a good game. I think Declan outside of the goal was fantastic as well.
He was.
We got the win. And that was the most important thing. And I don't think it was laboured. It was a 2-0 win that was a very comfortable, dominant win. We move. I think the one big thing that I take out of this game is Odegaard's injury again, which is, I think he's unlucky in this instance. And in general, he's unlucky at the moment because he's starting to look good for us. And it looks like he may have done medial ligament. We don't know yet. It might be out for a few weeks, maybe out for a bit longer. Hopefully not, because he's starting to look like the player he was. So that is the bit that takes a shine off it. I think Declan's fine. So, yeah, look, what did we learn? We learned that Arsenal can go first, ahead of Liverpool, ahead of City, and they can get the win and get it done in a fashion where they didn't concede a chance. Yes, we were at home, but you still got to win that game. Have West Ham been a bogey team for us in recent seasons? Yes, they have. I'm happy, Mark. I'm happy. Go top of the league, put the pressure on Liverpool, and then see what they do later.
I think that we need to have a look. I don't know. I think we need to have a look at how it pans out over the next couple of games when they play. I'm just not totally convinced. I mean, it is the start of the season. What I will say is even though I wasn't super impressed with that win against West Ham, what I will say is I've not been super impressed by the way that you've been playing in general. Bar that game at Newcastle, what I'm impressed with is that the games that you have played, that 6-7 games, what did you play? Manchester United, Newcastle, who's the other team? Liverpool. Did you play Liverpool? Liverpool.
Yeah.
You've played some. The Slobberslide goal, of course. But you've played some big boys, Man City, right?
Yep.
And you're top of the league. That is a sign of champions, because it looks like, for me, you haven't even hit top form yet or full gung-ho mode yet. And you're still settling in a couple of players. No, it is impressive. That I won't take away from you, because that's just factual stats. In terms of the way that you're playing, though, bar that Newcastle game, I haven't been too impressed. I mean, you've spent a lot of money. You've filled in a lot of holes in there. Your squad is probably one of the best, not just in the Premier League, in like club world football. It is so strong at this moment in time. Even though you have an injury to Odegaard. Odegaard is a big miss, because yes, I haven't been a fan of him the first couple of games, and obviously the entire last season. Okay, yes, he was injured. But before he got injured over the weekend, there was the last couple of games before that. This was the Odegaard which I wanted to see. The through balls, the forward passes. He is going to be a big miss for you guys. You need to get him back as soon as possible, because in my opinion, you don't have any other players like that. I don't see Deckers like that. He might do that on a one-off. He's more of a complete player, yeah. But in terms of breaking the lines, you need Odegaard, and you need Odegaard to be playing in the last couple of games before he got injured. He needs to be playing like that. Not just slick, tidy, side-to-side passing, forward thinking, forward balls, breaking the lines, assisting, which is what he's good at. That's going to be a big loss from you. But it's impressive in terms of your top of the league and the teams that you've played. But for me, let's just see if you're able to carry that on. And let's see if you could actually, in my opinion, play better. Play more urgency. That's just my opinion.
You hit the nail on the head, right? It's a long season. 38 games is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. Do I want my team to be in fifth gear now? No. Do I want them to be in fifth gear turn of the year? Yes. And if we're not in fifth gear now, by the way, Odegaard missing in previous seasons, yeah, a real huge loss. It's still a loss now because he looks like he's in form. But when you've got the likes of Eze and Manieri behind him coming in that can do a job against teams, I'm not as worried as I would have been in previous seasons. Zubimendi started pulling the strings yesterday against West Ham, which, again, we've got players that can come in. And Odegaard went off when it was 0-0. We still win the game 2-0. Eze shoots, goes across goal. I think the build-up behind that is really good. I think Zubimendi's quality in the build-up as well. I think in general, in terms of the whole game, I do think we've got a lot more cover for Odegaard now than we have done before. But going to your point, you haven't been too impressed with Arsenal. I tell you what, I am actually very impressed with us. And I tell you why. We're not playing free-flowing football. I don't see anyone really that's playing that well 7 games in. I'll say that firstly. But the other thing I'll say is in all games across all competitions, we've conceded 3 goals. You compare that to Liverpool, who's conceded 14 in all competitions, 9 in the Premier League. You compare that to anyone else in the Premier League. We've conceded 3 and we're scoring 2 goals a game. Only City have scored a goal more than us. That's it. And there's 1 more goal than us, and Haaland's on 9 already, right? I think there's a lot to be happy about as an Arsenal fan. We're shutting teams out. We're winning games. We've won 5 of our 7. It looks like we're drawing less games than previous. And we haven't hit 5th gear. We don't need to. We don't need to. I don't want us to. I actually don't want us to, Mark. 7 games in, I want to be going at the pace we're going. It's all about the win. Go and get the next win after the international break. Make sure you get the win. Make sure you get the win.
Well,
put the pressure.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the next games, because you've already, played a lot of the big boys. Let's have a look at your next 6 games. Fulham away. Then you have Atletico at home. Then you're at home to Crystal Palace. Then you're at home in the Carabao Cup to Brighton. Then in November, you're playing Burnley. Then after that, you're playing Slavia Prague away. Then you're playing Sunderland away. And then your next, for me, the biggest test, and I'm not even sure how big it is that you're playing Tottenham Hotspur at home at the Emirates. And then after that, you're hosting Bayern Munich. So the whole point of me burning through that is your next couple of games, bro, you could you could like stray away from the rest of the teams because your next games, especially in the Premier League, Geezer, they're all extremely winnable. And maybe you might hit top form. Maybe you don't want them to hit top form, but maybe they will. I mean, if it was my team, I would like to see my team on form, fifth gear all the time. Yeah, there's burnout and stuff like that, but you've got a squad, bro. You've got a fantastic squad. If I was you, I think a little bit different. With the squad that you guys have, experience as well as youth, I'd put it on every team, every single game. Show, not just the Premier League.
He started. Hold on, he started. The midfield that started was Rice, Odegaard, and Eze in the middle. I mean, he is putting. We did put it on West Ham. Odegaard going off was a bit of a blow.
It was a dominant performance.
If
I'm
you
not going to
watch the
say
game,
that.
yeah. I think you got to pace yourself, right? It's you know this better than most, right? You've won league titles where you've paced yourselves, and it is a marathon. You know, your last league win, your last Premier League title under Conte. I think after 6 games you'd lost 3 or whatever. You'd been beaten by us 3-0, and then he switches to a back 3. You've got time to do that and change and adapt. And from then on, Chelsea was supreme in my opinion, and Conte did an incredible job in his first season there. So I think, listen. You're right in some ways. Of course, you want to see us going, 5-star performances week in, week out. In reality, can you do that even with a deep squad? I don't think it's possible. I do think it's tough. 3 games in a week. The best thing about this week was we won all 3 games. No, not at all. We were. But went away to St. James's.
You're not concerned. Look. You're not concerned that you're so dominant, but you're not scoring more goals.
We are scoring goals. Hold on, bro.
You scored 1 goal in open play yesterday against West Ham.
We've scored more goals than any other team in the league, bar City. We've scored more league goals than Liverpool. Are you worried about Liverpool?
No, I'm not.
I would be if I was a Liverpool fan. I'll be honest. But anyway,
if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be. Okay. That's fine. It was extremely
2 goals game. We're good. Yeah,
1 goal and a penalty. Okay, and you had an extremely dominant performance against them. I was expecting a bit more of the squad that you have, but okay, that's fine. If you wanna like think that's okay, and Arsenal fans want to think that way, then that's okay. Each to their own. But for me, I was expecting more goals from open play, and that's it. Look, your next few games we're all back to see. They should all be winnable. Yeah, you may drop a couple of points here and there, but as long as you win the majority, that's it. Oh, before I go into it, I was just looking at Sky Sports. You know that Deckers is also injured as well as Saka. That is going to be huge because not Saka.
Saka's not injured.
Along with Odegaard. Okay, fine.
Declan's been cleared this morning.
Is he?
He's been cleared. Yeah. He's gonna go on in England. He's gonna go on England duty, I think. I'd want him to pull out. The Declan injury isn't a problem.
Absolutely. Oh well, fair enough. I mean, if he was, that would be massive. But Deckers is so important. He's so important to Arsenal. Look, it was a very dominant game. You did the job. You did well. We both admit that they're not in top gear. You're still winning. You played a lot of the best teams right now so far. It should be a nice, easy run for you guys. Let's see what happens. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what happens. But I do think one thing we have learned from the first 7 games this season, Mark, is there will be, I believe, a title race this year. There wasn't one last year. I think we've got enough now to put it on at the top, and I think there will be a title race this season between Arsenal and
tell me then,
Man City.
That's it. You're not counting Chelsea because in the previous pod you were saying this is the turning point for Chelsea. What about Liverpool?
Can't count Chelsea. No, I can't count Chelsea because you ain't got a keeper. So I've said that from day dot, and I've been consistent.
You did.
And let's be honest, Liverpool are crap. Yeah, rubbish.
Well, I was watching Rory Jennings, his review of the. I was watching his review of Chelsea versus Liverpool, and he goes, even though they've lost 3 games, even though they look so unbalanced at the moment, and they have a lot of holes and a lot of problems, he still favours them to win the title.
He does.
I don't agree with that, by the way. I don't agree with
Here's
that, by
what
the way.
Rory's essentially, I'll come back to you on that. Here's what Rory's missing is that I understand what he's saying in some ways. Like, yeah, they walked it last season. Slot did a great job, and they've brought in Isak. They've brought in Ekatike. They should have too much for everyone else. But in reality, when you just scratch underneath the surface, I'm more inclined to believe that Liverpool have got more and more problems. Look at that back line. Okay, Alisson's out. I don't know how long he's out for. He'll come back, fine, whatever. I'm not convinced by I don't know how good this other keeper is. I don't think we learned anything about him against Chelsea. One game, not enough to tell. Their back line is a real problem. Their right back is a massive problem. And I know we're going to do Liverpool pod and we'll go into it in more detail. But I also think their centre-backs are a problem. I think they've got problems all over the park, Mark.
I agree.
And I think Rory might be a little bit off on that one. Who knows?
So
mate?
You're not including him in the race. So you're not going to include him in the race. You just think
I'm just being a bit of a dick, and I'm trying to wind up Liverpool fans. I'm trying to wind up Liverpool fans.
We have a special place.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool, depending on how long Alisson's out for, Liverpool got a bit of a tough run as well. Here's the thing. Mark. We've got our Chelsea mate who goes, "This is what champions do, scoring injury time winners." Well, guess what? Now Liverpool are not scoring injury time winners. As you said, Mark, they're conceding injury time winners. They've had a tough week. Our Liverpool mate said, well, you get those weeks. You have a tough week. We had to go away to Crystal Palace. We had to go away to Galatasaray. And then we had to go away to Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea were coming in with no form as well. Don't forget.
Yeah,
well,
it's true.
Let's be honest, yeah. Yes, it's a tough week. But is that what champions do? Lose all 3 in a row? Is that what champions do? Like, you tell me.
Well, Chelsea lost 3 in a row under Conte, as you just said, and then switched it up and then dominated that entire...
You didn't. No, I've got to disagree. You didn't. Yeah, he did switch the whole system, but you lost 3 of your first 6. You didn't lose 3 in a row. You lost 3-0 to us, and then he changed the system. He went 3 at the back, I think.
Okay, so you're talking consecutively. Fine.
Yeah, 3 losses in a row. Our boy said, yeah, it was a tough week. We've had 3 away games, 3 tough away games. But Mark, I don't know, mate. Do champions concede injury time winners back-to-back games? Do champions lose 3 tough games in a row back-to-back? Maybe they do. And maybe they do. But, I think there's a problem there.
It's not about you thinking there's a problem. There's a lot of problems at Liverpool, and there's mounting pressure on them. Look, we're going to go into it in another pod, but I just wanted to see if you actually think that they're going to be in a title race along with you.
They could be out of the title race by January. They could be out of the title race by January.
Or they could be well in it. Or they could be well in it. It's only 7 games.
They could be 3-4 points clear. This is an unpredictable nature about Liverpool. One thing I will tell you though, Mark, before you move on, and I know you're going to move on, is this is where Slot earns his money. Not last season.
Absolutely.
This is where he's going to earn his money. I don't think he's got it.
I don't think he's got it either. It'd be very interesting. It's a very interesting season. I think it's the most interesting season I've seen in a while, because it's not a clear-cut winner or a favourite for the league. Let's see what happens. Guys, you tell us what you think. What do you think? Who is going to be the favourite? If you're an Arsenal fan, do you think that you guys have enough to win the league? Do you think that this is your year to finally win something?
Come on, Gooners!
Bro, relax, man. Sorry, you still have Man City. You still have Man City. I still think Liverpool could turn it around. They could fix their problems. You never know.
I'm only
still
messing.
so
I'm
early.
only messing.
I know you are. And but I do believe they have huge problems. Guys, let us know in the comments down below. We're going to respond to every single one of you guys. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe so you get caught up and you catch all of our latest videos. If you want to see more of our content, click this video right here and we'll see you lot in there. Thank you.